So let me come back to you, Mr. Puri. And I think you have a unique perspective because you have the pulse of what is happening outside India's metros, what is happening with rural consumption, rural demand. We keep hearing about it. There are headlines. We look at data. All right, GDP last quarter, fantastic, but has consumption slowed down? I want to get your sense on what is really happening on ground.
Well, let me give you a little broader answer and talk more about the way forward, rather than make it a little more tactical kind of response. So first and foremost, let us feel happy about the fact that despite the shocks that the Indian economy and the global economy has gone through, COVID, geopolitical crisis, extreme climate events, despite that, the Indian economy is resilient. I would say even rural is resilient. Rural, we can say it's not growing as much as we would like it to. That's fine, but it's still growing. And that is so at a time when the whole world is struggling. There are parts of the world that are on recession. There are parts of the world that are facing debt crisis, interest rates, inflation. Even India has managed all that well. So we are in a good position. The foundation is strong because of a lot of policy interventions. You look at the health of balance sheets, financial sector, corporates, look at the investments in the physical and digital infrastructure. We are on the right path. Having come out of so many shocks, to expect that everything will be right overnight, I think is not a practical assumption. But we are on the right track, absolutely on the right track. Now, going forward, I think the issues are similar to what I alluded earlier. It's about inclusivity, and it's also about managing extreme weather events and building resilience into the economy. Those are, I think, pivotal to our continued progress, and with continued progress, the virtuous cycle of consumption, investments, and so on and so forth will come in. Already because of public investments, there is a positivity. Private capex is also, we are seeing silver linings of they're coming. It was in fact acknowledged by the finance minister also in the budget speech. So what do we need to do for adaptation? I think we need to work on issues of agriculture, and there are successful models in India. We need to work on dealing with the water crisis. There are successful models. There's a very successful model close by, and we are in Mumbai, so I thought I will quote it, the Goud River region, which we were associated with. Several years back, it had a negative water balance. Today, it has positive water balance. The weather events have become worse, but the water balance is positive. And it has happened because of some scientific study and all stakeholders coming together to address the demand and supply side issues. This is an example just to say solutions are there, but we need to implement those at scale. Probably it's time to create a national coalition for adaptation, to deal with water, to deal with nature, to deal with agriculture also. There are successful models, models that have worked well. So that's one part of it I think we need to address. The second part is to also continue the journey of investment so that more jobs are getting created. And besides what is already being done, I think the sectors that require focus are in manufacturing, are sectors that are large employment generating. Things like, we've done well in many sectors, but I think there are more opportunities in garments, apparel, footwear, toys. These are all sectors where there is policy thrust, and maybe the benefits of all this will also come when the global economy picks up. There's a lot of thrust on tourism. Tourism has fantastic economic multipliers. It gives birth to a lot of mom and shop kind of micro enterprises. There is huge opportunity to raise incomes in the farm sector. And the FAO forecasts that by 2050, the world's food production has to go up by 70%, and this has to happen at a time when natural resources are depleting, and India has got huge headroom to grow vertically and become a big player globally. a lot of opportunity for value addition in that sector. So and then I earlier spoke to you about services per se because of the demographic advantage with us and a demographic challenge across the world. And so where we need to really dial down to benefit from all this is a lot around, I think, skilling, education. Those are the sectors, those are the initiatives that will create a lot of value. And the good news is that many of these areas, work is happening. I think we need to do more, we need to take the next steps and continue consistently on this journey.
Sure, but coming back to sir, the point about extreme weather conditions. We are in the year of El Nino. More are expected this year. You're already seeing spots of it around the world. What is the kind of impact you think we will continue to see on agriculture and as a result on consumption as well? Because while we're firing all cylinders, the question about consumption at the bottom of the pyramid is a very real one.
Okay, let me also put it in perspective. If I specifically was to focus on rural incomes, now rural incomes are in three parts and each one is nearly equal. One is off-farm incomes. That is indexed to connectivity to urban centers, that is indexed to growth in manufacturing and real estate particularly, that is one. Second is rural wages. And third is farm income. So three parts of it. The first is independent. The other two are a little bit connected to agriculture. And as I said earlier, that if weather events if they do happen, they can cause problem. But there are solutions available. I think I would also compliment the national agencies that have also started to provide this information, some solutions to farmers. But the effort and the scale and magnitude of what is happening needs to be multiplied, and it needs to be done in a spirit of public-private partnership. Enterprises, government agencies all need to come together. And there are successful models. I'll give you our own examples. Several years back when we started climate smart agriculture, in 70% of the districts we started, all these districts are today classified as high yield and high resilience. GHG emissions there have dropped by as much as 60%. Farm incomes have improved by as much as 90%. So what is good for the farmer is also good for the planet. Okay. So there are solutions available. They may not solve all of the issues, but maybe 60, 70%. So we should implement these while we continue to work on developing solutions for the pathways for the unsolved problems. So we need to implement that at scale in a spirit of public-private partnership. So we'll have to do something about it. The good news is work has started, but I think the journey is a long one.
Corporate participation in the farm sector sometimes becomes a tricky issue. We saw that happening in the last few years because agriculture, very crucial to the Indian economy, employs a large proportion of our economy. But corporatizing it runs into headwinds. We saw that with the farm laws, etc., a lot of pushback. And do you think that could remain a challenge? Because then this is a large space that we're not looking at. We're great at servicing, manufacturing is improving. Can we really move forward without tackling issues of efficiency, which helps farmers in this space?
No, it has to be addressed. Those farm laws are important, no doubt about it. So hopefully over a period of time, we'll get better alignment and those will come through. In the meantime, what we have worked with is what we should work with. There are two tools that the government of India has put in place, and these are, in my view, very powerful tools. One is aggregation of small farmers through FPOs, farmer producer organizations. And second, there's a lot of thrust on bringing digital and technology to the farm sector. So how do we digitize agriculture? And digitization can be an integrated solution. Advisory, input markets, financial inclusion, market linkages. So some of these challenges of the regulations can also be solved, not 100%, but to some degree through digitization. So combination of this, I think these are the tools available which we should progress and leverage. And I believe that they will make a difference to agriculture in India.